Now it's time to go and kill some kittens.
No.
So let's keep finishing this hike on the ridge. And actually, I wasn't joking. We're gonna go kill some kittens. Good Friday, and it's definitely a good Friday if we don't have to work and we get to work out in the mountains. Today we're off to see if we can get on top of a little famous ridge around here called Syncline Ridge. You can see the Syncline Ridge right in behind me here, and I stared at maps for the longest time looking at topography, trying to find a way to get to the top of this. And there's a way you can get on top of the Syncline Ridge, and we're gonna try to see if we can go on the one side, on the western side, and come over onto the ridge. And if we're successful in getting on top of this ridge, then it's actually the longer route, but it's super easy to get up to the Miette and all the way down to Capitol Mountain. It's pretty cold weather this morning. It's like -10 and a lot of low-hanging clouds, which makes some cool pictures for us in the background here. But I'm slowly gonna go back to Swindle in the Jeep, and we're gonna go see if we can find a way to explore the Syncline Ridge. And we're in Jasper National Park. So the parking lot for the Hidden Valley Trail is just down the road here, a few hundred meters. A little bit closer to the Syncline Ridge, you can see where Swindle's parked. There's another little entryway here. If you want to try this trail, you can start that much closer to the actual ridge. And you can know you're in the right spot because there's a little sign here that talks about an old lime and stone company. These ruins are all that remain of the office of the Fitzhugh Lime and Stone Company, which operated nearby between 1911 and 1914. The structure was later sold to the Alpine Club of Canada, which enlarged it and used it at the base of the climbing area until 1981. Not a whole lot left here. I have no clue what this is. I tried lifting it, but it's frozen to the ground. So we are about 1.7 kilometers up this little ridged slope. It's quite wide. You can see this is the most eastern ripple down there. And we came up on the middle ripple here. And then there's a third one kind of more on the west side. But still a lot of deadwood, a lot of trees down here. So it's a slow grind. And you have to kind of veer around trees. So there's like 3 of them that kind of go upwards. And what sucks is that there's a nice little ridge you can see on the horizon there. And I looked at that and I kind of wanted to go across to go up on there. This is probably a nice view, but cutting across these low valleys to go back up with all of this deadwood, I've done that once before and it's not advisable. So while we're coming back down, we figured out that if you go all the way to the western ridge, this is the path you find. The sheep have used this a lot. You can see they actually have trails. Not a way to get up there from what I originally planned out, but this ridge also gives me the chance to get a better view on the other side of this little creek. It looks like you could switch back up there and it would be way more feasible to do. And you can see where there's like a gorge that cuts right through there, and you can get on top of that and you can roam across to get up to the Syncline Ridge. That's possible, On the other side, I'm not too sure if you'll be able to get there. We're gonna go all the way to the end and check it out. It's an awesome view here, and I'm hoping that once we get to the other side, we'll get a view of the whole southwest side, because it's an extremely pretty view of them. So we made it to the top of this kind of sloping ridge that attaches to the Syncline Ridge. And as you can see behind me here, it's a little bit more difficult to get up here than I thought. If you're looking behind, you go down for a little bit and then there's like a nice little kind of slope that goes upwards. And from here, if you're like a proficient scrambler, you might be able to go on that side, but it looks quite difficult. And on the other side, it's even more sketchy because there's like a little area where I don't think you can get up there. This spot here gives us a good view of that treed area in behind. That's almost perfectly flat. So if you can get up to there, you can follow that all the way over and go up. So that's like kind of the easy way, but the problem is just getting to the top of that. But over on this side, right over here, there's a dirt coulee that kind of comes down, and then you can squeeze in between there, and you could follow all the way up to this like kind of small crevasse there where there's trees. And I think if you go in a straight line there, you can come all the way up to that flat spot that's right in the middle of the screen here. Like that, from there, from the topography, you can easily just follow this entire ridge and walk easily all the way up to the top. And then either way, we're about 3 kilometers up on this ridge, and you get the most amazing view here of this valley. This might be one of the best lookouts for this side of Jasper Park. I feel like they should have a trail come up here. I'm gonna show you guys this right now. Look at that. Right in behind me there, you can see the Miette Mountain. It sticks out right in the middle of that valley, and that ridge that follows the Miette Mountain, I've done a hike across Miette Ridge, so you can see that right up top over there. And then that mountain range in behind there, that actually goes all the way down, and what actually forms Medicine Lake and Moline Lake, and even Jacques Lake is right inside that mountain range. And then on the other side, you can see the entire Athabasca River and Talbot Lake. That opening over there is like a river, but if you come back here in like the late fall, there's so much water that that little river fills that whole thing with water, but it's like super, super shallow. So I'm gonna show you guys a better view of this entire valley here right now. This is Syncline Ridge, and I'm Eric Tremblay, and these are my adventures. Peace out, everyone.